Volume up.
What up, bro?
Hey man, what's good, man? How
I
you
finally
doing?
figured out, bro. What's going on? How you doing?
You logged in. That's right. That's
Yeah,
what's
man.
up.
Yeah, man. I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
here. I'm here,
that,
man.
that's
Yeah.
what's up.
Been doing all
That,
right?
man, you already know it, man. It's an everyday struggle, man. You know what I'm talking about. But we gotta keep pushing.
Hey, I want to tell you, man, I appreciate your work, bro. I appreciate your passion, man, for your people. For real. The passion that you have is unmatched, bro. For real. Yeah. You're on the front line for real. And I
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. You
I
know the
appreciate it.
sentiment. You know the sentiment mutual, man. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You dropping real jewels out here. You really waking the people up and bringing knowledge at a level that we ain't seen down here in Mobile. And nobody been down here just really educating and teaching
Yeah.
the true history. Our true history, like, man, come on, you speaking nothing but facts. So
Yeah. I
with that,
appreciate it.
I'm encouraged. I'm able to drop a lot of jewels every day. I was picking up off you. You know how we say iron sharpen iron. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
sir.
you know, your message, I'm going full throttle with your message just as well as you see in mine. So you already know, brother.
Yeah,
I
I
appreciate
appreciate it. I appreciate, that's the Holy Spirit, man. When God, you let him take the steering wheel, everything gonna work out how it's supposed to work out how it go, man. So I just learned
it.
to submit to the Spirit. That's it. I stopped
Right,
bucking against the Spirit. That's all, and let him use me. I be running from my on to get on here for real. To be honest with you, I told you that we talked about that. So that's how I
right,
know God calling me to do it because it ain't what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? That ain't
right,
really
right,
that ain't really what I planned or set out to do is get on the internet. You know what I'm talking about? So, but I'm here
true,
now though. I'm here now. He
true,
nudged my spirit. One of my good friends, Jamel Nettles, kept saying, I need you to get on there, man. The world need to hear your gift. Cause I was at the barber shop. I said, I'm cool with the people who I talk to get in the chair. I don't need no another audience. You know what I'm saying? So he was
right,
like, no, man,
right,
no. The world need to hear you. No, you can change somebody's life from no way out of the country. And I see it happening now, man. I got friends all over the country now, man. For real, I was just my video. For
I'm
real.
focused,
That's
focused.
how good God is, man. God good, bro. He good to us all. But especially good to the ones who try to at least try to.
Yeah,
That's
you
how it's going.
gotta know it,
How you
gotta
doing,
know
bro?
it.
All right, how you guys doing?
Doing all right, bro.
Man, all is
I'm
well,
doing all
all is
right. I'm
well. How
doing.
you?
Oh, look, I was trying to get your attention because I had some issues with one of my computers. Hold on a second, because I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Okay. Take your time, man. Take your time. We ain't going nowhere. We here. It's
That
destined.
right.
It's ordained. It's ordained, man. We ain't going nowhere. It's ordained.
That
God
right.
gets to what He ordained. We already got grace to get through it, man. We're gonna do it.
Here we
We're
go.
gonna do it.
Sorry about that. Anyway, I gave. Let me just reintroduce you guys again.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know what's going on with my computers. They just doing all kind of stuff. Um, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have two guests tonight. We have Mr. Tony Burns, and Mr. Burns is a life coach and a motivational speaker, critical thinking and truth and knowledge. We also got Mr. Davis. I've read your bio, which was Mr. Mr. Davis is a community organizer and developer that works for the city of Mobile, and he started a nonprofit organization that's actually helping his community. Welcome both of you guys to the show, and I apologize for the technical difficulties that I'm having. But
Respect.
if you guys can take some time, if you guys could take some time and just tell the guests who you guys are and what you guys do in your communities.
You go
Well,
first.
I'll take the lead. Of course, my name Vaughn Davis. I'm a community facilitator for the city of Mobile, but I didn't just wake up a community facilitator, right? I got a long history with my city. You know, I've been around. People know me all around in Mobile, Alabama. But I started a Stop the Violence organization, which is called the White Flag Movement, Ceasefire in the Hood, 9 years ago, and it was because I saw the way things were going in my communities, and I didn't see anyone just really attacking these issues and just standing out on the front line. And that's just pretty much one of the reasons when it sparked as far as my physical being. But God put it on me way before that. You know, I was on my own journey, going through some struggles and trying times, and I made a vow to God. And I know God is the deliverer in that situation. You get what I'm saying? It's like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You know, I don't know how deep in that words you are, but like Daniel in the lion's den. And if you can see where I'm going with this, it was only God and his presence that was able to deliver me out of the situation that I was in. And in that moment, you know, I made a vow to him. I turned and I tuned everything out, and I made a vow to God, and I opened myself up to be a willing vessel for him. I let him know that I was a willing vessel for him to use me as he pleased, whenever and wherever and however. We all know that God is too powerful to just come into this earth as his self. So he needs those of us that's open and willing to allow him to use us to accommodate the things he needs to do in the different places and cuts and crevices throughout the world. So I opened myself up to him, and when he came, I recognized his voice because I was listening for him, and I didn't allow my connection to stay so disconnected. So I consider myself um, a soldier for God on a mission to help deliver our people from the things that we're facing in today's society, and to continue to keep the dream alive. You know, we have brothers that came before me that I hate to. I know they probably turned in their graves. Some Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Huey P. Newton, and you know those guys that came before us and fought against the things that we're facing still today. Uh, and to see so many of us still asleep and not in this battle, man, it's mind-boggling.
So, Mr. Burns, if you could tell our audience a little bit about yourself, I would appreciate that as well, sir.
All right. I'm Mr. Antonio Burns, and I have a passion for motivational speaking and being a life skill coach because my drive is driven from seeing the condition that my people see it change. From coming up as a young kid, you know, going through my own struggles with my mom suffering from mental depression. At 16 years old, I'm back and forth in a mental hospital, um, determining what type of medicine my mom need to be. And I was a kid. My mom need to be on. I was a kid as myself at the time. So, going through my own little struggles and seeing a lot of kids going down the wrong road that I was going down. I was young because I wanted to try to fit in and be a follower, try to blend in with the crowd due to poverty and, my dad not being able to find things that I want. And kids, looking down, talking down and talking about you and all types of stuff like that. So that drove me into the streets and started committing crime and try to get money, just try to live up to the American dream, which I say the fake American dream, or American standard. So like I said, I come down a long road, of trials and pain like everybody else. I've been to the federal penitentiary. I did 7.5 years in the federal penitentiary for money laundering. I never mind sharing because it's a part of my story. And one of the best things that ever happened to me because it made me become a better man and get a chance to find myself. And I read a lot. I re-educated myself, So at the end of it, I love my people, and that's just what it is. I love all people, but especially my people, because I can relate to my people with the pain and the struggles that we go through that's different from other people. That's all I be trying to preach. I don't have no racism in me. I can't be racist. At the end of the day, I could be prejudiced, but I definitely be racist because I don't have no economic power. I can't stop nobody from getting no loans. I can't stop nobody from doing nothing. I don't have power to control no other people in power that control our life, affect us only. So I speak about that. It just come out naturally from me being who I'm seeing what I seen. That's just what it is.
Well, I'll just tell you this about the show, America in Black and White is just that. And it's all about the truth, nothing but the truth. We don't embellish, we only tell the truth. And
yeah.
the thing is, we're here to give the voice for those that need to have a voice, to make the powerless feel powerful, to give them that powerful. We want to be, as informative and also be about as knowledgeable as what the nuggets that are being dropped here on the show each and every day. So I want to thank you guys for being here. And, your story is one that's just inspirational, but it's one that we all should be preaching and learning throughout this entire country, because all of our communities are suffering in some shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
Right.
You, Mr. Burns, tell me what motivated you to become a motivational speaker?
Well, when since I was young, I had the ability to draw people with the positive spirit. Even when I was in the streets doing wrong, people still draw to me because I always had the spirit with me. Because I was a lot, real disciplined when I was young. And a lot of people come to me and they was older than me for advice. So I'm like, how are you asking me for advice? My mindset is like, I think that your age supposed to match your action. So me as a kid, seeing a 50-year-old person, and I'm 16, asking me for $2, that register with me. You somewhere you have $1 or $2, and asking the 16-year-old for somewhere you on the line. I fell off the track and I don't know what it was. But then once I started looking and I started doing my research, when it dropped off over here in the 80s, and all the black people were going through depression and stress, and the family started fruiting and all that, a lot of people turned to drugs. They weren't strong enough, they turned to drugs. And even to this day, you still got people still suffering from the drugs that was dropped off over here in the 80s. So me seeing that and growing up around and seeing my father and all his friends hang at the corner store for 30 years and never pretty much went out of town, and that didn't register with me well. I'm like, people are really stuck and don't know that they've been programmed to be this way. They really don't do research a lot going on behind the scenes. It took me to go to the federal penitentiary to learn, to start studying what's going on around me, the laws and no politics, which I'm not into politics because whatever laws that they change will affect us most of the time. So I know that, so I try to get the people in my city, in Mobile, Alabama, to understand they got laws for 16-year-old kids can get up to 30 years for just claiming the title of a gang. It ain't got to be a blood or crip gang. And they had took it out where a young kid cannot get up in a life sentence in jail, a juvenile life. But it's the same thing. If I'm 16 and I'm lost and trying to find my identity and I get caught up and do something crazy, I still can get 30 years, which will probably bring me out at 46. I'm still lost. So what I'm saying is a lot of the laws that be changing really be affecting us. And a lot of people don't be paying attention to it. And some people don't want to know until they get caught up in the system like I had to. Because, you know, a lot of things is centered around numbers. The world is centered around numbers. Once people understand that, you understand laws and the state and the federal. You got addresses, you got phone numbers, you got street numbers. Everything got numbers and codes. So 922G, that's a federal code for gun laws. You got all type of codes, and once you go to jail, you get in there. You don't know the code. When you find your jail, if you got 851, you're getting them to enhance. If you supposed to got 5, you'll get 10, but you 51, 8 $1. You think 8, but you know that ain't their problem. Their problem is they need you to get. You can pay. Grandma have to send some money here. It's all about POPM people. We live in the capitalist society. We capitalize off everything, and when people understand that, you'll know what laws that be on or know what they're trying to do. Or the narrative. Most of the time, it's gonna come through that TV. You know, your media. They're gonna come through. The kids don't know that because the word. A lot of people don't. When they get down in your cell phone, then you and you start reacting to those words out if you hear them. If you so that's what I be on.
Mr. Burns, it sounds like you're describing an unjust system and things that happened to you.
Yeah.
What made you a motivational speaker?
True.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Davis, can you share some
Absolutely.
achievements of your organization dedicated to catalyzing change?
Say that. Could you say that again for me?
I said, can you share key milestones and achievements of your organization that's dedicated to catalyzing change?
Well, I can see it as far as with me collaborating and getting the contract with the city of Mobile due to the efforts that we've committed to going throughout our throughout the city, hosting numerous events that have been pretty much successful because of the way we implement when we stage our events, mostly not allowing any drugs and alcohol to be present or people to come in with that in the atmosphere, knowing that we are all here for the same common cause, which is to try to create um, and take the same options that's on the table off the table for the children. Having a mindset of knowing that the kids are the key in everything we're doing. You get what I'm saying? Like we're where we at already in life. We're the adults. We're the ones that's supposed to be setting the tone. Like he was speaking, he's not into he not into politics, but he follows pay attention to politics and being able to bring that awareness to the community, to the guys that are considered thugs and less than. You get what I'm saying? Those who are looked down on, being able to take and grab a hold to those kind of people and have them on the same platform around the people who consider themselves that have already made it in success and that are not a part of the problem, and they get to connect with these people and see like, okay, well, they're not as bad as I thought they were. It's like with myself personally, I come from that same life of crime like Mr. Burns did. I went to prison at the
Right.
age of 16. I was charged as an adult with a robbery first. Um, but it wasn't because of the way I was raised. It was because of my community. It was the things that I was able to go get a hold to in the ways that was on the table, the options that were out there for me that was just open. Like, hey, if you don't succeed this way, we can let you make it this way. With drugs, it was a thing to say, okay, I can get a girlfriend if I have on gold, if I have on this. So being able to change the stereotype that you have to be a drug dealer or you have to be a street person in order to obtain things of value if that's what your drive is. Showing them that they can get a fine girlfriend if that's what they're after without having to be into the drugs and have to get no car with rims on it and stuff like that. So I think that is a pivotal point in what my organization has been able to do inside of the communities in branding and allowing guys to feel comfortable knowing that, okay, I'm not going to be looked at as weak if I don't engage into this type of activity. Uh, so I've seen success all around my city, not just in one area. I've seen it in Pritchard. I've seen it in Maysville. I've seen it in Roger Williams, Tomerville.
Right.
I've seen it in the downtown all the way to West Mobile. These guys that gravitate towards it, and they're looking for something to gravitate to that's on that level, but they just don't know where and how to go about doing it. So that's what I feel has been a milestone and something that my organization has brought to the table. It gives people a sense of what they need to do and what they can do in order to help change in the community.
So tell me, to your knowledge, and if you are able to measure this, tell me, how is it, what impact do you think your organization has made, not just on your community, but the city?
I would say if we would have scaled it on a number scale of 1 to 100, I would say maybe at a 30%. And I would say that because it's gonna take more than just me. You get what I'm saying? And the message that I tell these guys when I connect in different neighborhoods, Mr. Burns can vouch for it. Maybe I could tell a young man one thing, and he may look at me and be like, "Man, who is this dude?" But I can call Antonio Burns and say, "Hey, man, I need you to talk to this little guy. I think he know you," and he can tell him the exact same thing, and he'll go with it. He'll accept it. So that's where we have to be able to connect more with having guys out of other neighborhoods that's more committed to engaging into our youth. You know, they got to be committed to just saying, I'm gonna be proactive, not reactive or not sub-active. I'm gonna just sit around and just not do nothing and let that be something. No, we got to be proactive in our approach when we
Right.
deal with them. And so I don't think I've made the impact that I would like to have made. I don't think it's major, and that's my perception. People outside see it different. You know, it's always that way. I can't see it, and maybe God don't want me to see it, and I'm not mad about it. It's for others to be able to see it, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But I don't think it's made as big of an impact as I wanted to, or it should have, because I don't have full support of uh, my community. I'm not going to say the city, because the city has given me a partnership because of my efforts. I'm under a contract with the city, so they are backing me and willing to give me the access and maneuverability to grow and do what I do and try to get more people like myself to come on board. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a catalyst for these guys. And I told Antonio when I spoke with him earlier that where I'm at now, it was somebody that told him about me for them to see me. It was a light that was pointed at me. So I'm trying to mold guys to be in position so I can point that spotlight over at them. That same light that was on me, I can point that light. I can say, "Hey, look, check this guy Antonio Burns out," and then next thing you know, he'll be getting a call and they'll be like, "Hey, could you come do an interview?" And that's actually how it happened with me. I was scouted more so than me going after looking for a job with the city. They scouted me, and that was a blessing in its own. That was God pointing the light and directing different people to say, "Hey, this is the guy. He's been dedicated and motivated, doing this out of his own pockets for the last 9 years." So they gave me an opportunity as the city. So I feel if my community would collaborate with me better, then we could make a bigger impact than anyone could ever imagine.
Mr. Burns, for the work that you do in your community, what is the impact you think you've made on the community, and how have your influence been on many of the younger kids, younger adults that's growing up in the area?
Well, not just from what I'm saying, or how I feel, or what I say that
Thank you.
my range should be, or my score on how I do what I do. I let the people tell me. It's the reaction I get from the people, because I do a lot of that I'm a big supporter of black businesses. Pretty much almost all the black businesses in Mobile, they see me. Matter of fact, I'm doing something right now. I'm going to different places in Mobile. I just choose whoever God put on my spirit to pull up on or go and patronize or go spend some money with to just support them. I've been doing that lately, but I've been doing that all my life though. That's what I do. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter um how much the product costs. If I can't afford it, cheap. I just want to patronize my brother to show them that I know is a lot of tax breaks that other foreigners and stuff get, so it'd be harder for them. They can't get different incentives like other races come to this country and get more help than the people that live here and been paying taxes their whole life. So that be my stance and try to a kid. I worked at the barbershop also, so I could a lot of people they want me to mentor them. So that's really where my mentorship started at out of prison in my barbershop. Then I started moving on the internet because I had a friend who made a petition for me to get on social media named Joseph. He was like, him also did time. We was incarcerated together. I have my father-in-law, which is my mentor, 78 years old. He always tell me he been around the world, I don't know how many times, because he seen me for 35 years. And he speak a couple of different languages also. He speak a couple of different languages. And he was like, all the places he been around the world, he never heard anyone put words in the sequences like I do. And he was also motivating me to get on the internet because I'm an introverted person. I don't draw energy from other people. I can root myself on. I can do everything. I don't like attention too much. I'm pretty much to explain myself, to explain me. I'm a Virgo. I'm like a spider. I crawl down and I pay attention, see what's going on, and I crawl back up in my dark space. That's just me. I like it up there. I'm comfortable up there. I'm not in nobody's way. If I can learn from you from 1 year old to 100, I learn from you. I'm an open book. I'm always willing to learn. It don't matter what race, nationality, what you're trying to teach. If I can take something good out of it, just like we do when we eat our food. If you don't like this part, you get rid of it. The part you like, you eat. That's how I am. I'm an open book. I'm a sponge. I'm always willing to learn because my motto is, if you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're just existing. You're just here. Like I was saying earlier, I had people that was at the gas station with my father and friends. They sat around and drunk themselves to death and smoked death and never left Mobile, Alabama. So that's why I travel all these different countries. I stay moving to show other people that the only you're gonna grow is if you see something different, hear it, and try something different. It's the only way. If I know how to get to my friend David's house, right? All right. Once I learn how to get there, it's gonna take me nothing to get back to his house. I don't need a GPS anymore. But if he moves, say, to Atlanta, now my mind have to work again to try to find a new spot in Atlanta because I'm uncomfortable. I don't really know where he stay at. So that might work, and that helped me grow more because I'm seeing something different and I'm experiencing something different and something new. So I try to tell people to try to learn something new every day to broaden your imagination where you can really live and find your place in life, because you don't know your place in life till you go other places and visit other places, try other things, try different cuisines, different foods, mix and mesh with the people that have different things to offer besides what you've been seeing all your life. So that's what I do. That's why I travel, take with different people and just really learn different cultures and different stuff. Then that's why I come back and show it on my Facebook page to show other people that, hey, I'm the one that'll come right to your store and patronize you, but I just came from over here to believe the pyramids that the Mayans built. You can do the same thing. You just see me on the internet, so it lets you know it's possible. Just pay attention to the people. But what I really think is the problem is the devil is keeping the older people from connecting with the younger. That's the problem. It's a disconnect. And and a lot of us will say, we'll say like, no, I don't want to be around them. They shooting, they doing this and that, but you got to understand who's behind, who's maneuvering the hand behind all of this. You got to really sit back and think like, look, the younger people are lost, and you go back from generation to generation. It's always been shooting. It's always been killing. Everything that's been going on. It's just going on more now because once they took the prayer out of school, that took a spiritual foundation, that took a spiritual religion to me. If you have a spiritual foundation, me having a spiritual foundation won't let me go shoot no one's house up. If I got a problem with a person, I'm gonna shoot his mama house up. My spiritual connection with the God that I'm serving would not let me do that, because they go against natural law. Like I tell people, anything that goes against nature is unnatural. And a lot of things that we see now, it's a lot of unnatural things that's going on due to the people not participating and being mature. A lot of older people are not mature in their same mindset and the mind frame, and kids think that's cool to do what a 50-year-old do.
But what I'm asking you, and what I think our audience needs to understand is that
Okay.
for the thing you're saying, that what you have done or what you are doing now, how are you making the impact on those people that look to you as to being the leader in the area in which you're located?
Oh yeah, I think I'm doing a great job. No, glory be to God. I think I'm doing a great job from the response I get. And like I said, I've been mentoring people all younger than me all my life. You know, I get phone calls. A lot of people go through problems. Even when I was incarcerated, I had a lot of people come to me and talk to me every day, which I literally couldn't have myself. A lot of people going through stuff, and they see me as a counselor. And I was younger than a lot of those people. These different colored people, but like I say, I just feel like it was life to do what I do. And if I can rate it from what other people say, like I said, I want to do my own home. If I can rate it from what other people say, I give myself 10 for what I do, because I'm passionate about what I do. I just don't do it and try to look for nothing in return, because people from when I was young up to now, people remind me of stuff that I did for them when I was young that I have totally forgot about, because I've kind of my heart, I don't keep score. So what it is.
Okay, so Mr. Davis, when it comes to your organization and the way you systemically or procedurally how you've moved through the city and the things that are happening there, from the crime that you've seen or the things that you talk about, to the things that your organization is offering. Are you seeing more and more people coming to your organization or coming to you, for more than just advice, but how to move and shake in the community?
Oh, I get it all the time, all the time. Like it has become a daily thing now. Like from numerous people. See, because it's the thing about me. Since I partner with the city, I'm so multiversal with my movements and where I'm at. I'm in contact with people, so many people, uh, and I've gotten very known in a lot of areas more than I was. I was just known in the hood for 30 years, but for the last 10 years, I'm known through the city, and for the last year and a half per se, I'm known in the upper echelon of people within the city,
Mhm.
and they see the movements I'm making, and they understand the severity of and the need of what I'm doing. Like it's a very high demand for people like myself in the city, in the United States right now. I'm not just gonna say in Mobile, because this program that we're on, this it's a prototype, somewhat of a prototype for the rest of the country. This is one of the first places that it has been rolled out in. So it's like I'm toting a lot on my shoulder right now, per se, in my own head, because I'm looking at, if this program does not succeed, I go down in history with the L. If this program succeeds, then it could give me everything that I need in order to bring about that national change that I'm looking for. You know, I
We'll
spoke
make
with
sure
you.
that you're not gonna fail. We're gonna make sure you're not gonna fail, but I'm listening.
Yeah.
So um, it's like people come to me now because, like, when I go to, I'm hospital based. I have a hospital intervention that I do now, and when I'm in the hospital on my hospital intervention, what I do anytime someone gets shot. Actually, I have this pager right here. I have this pager, and this is the same pager that the doctors walk around the hospital with. So any trauma. alerts come to this pager. I only respond to the gunshots. Anytime someone gets shot in the city of Mobile, if they go on to USA Hospital per se, and sometimes it doesn't matter once it gets to the call, gets to the ambulance. A lot of them calls I still get a page about it, and maybe they'll go to a different hospital. But if they go to USA Trauma Center, then it's a very high percent chance that they'll see me. 90% chance that they're gonna see me. And when they see me, what I'm there for is I'm a lifeline for them for their road to recovery. If they see me, that means they didn't survive, they didn't live, they didn't get killed. So in the process of me getting the intake on them for their road to recovery, I try to help provide resources or connect them to the resources, which is counseling, because going through something like that is a traumatic experience. So they have to we if they want to see a counselor, some people are tough and they see gun violence all the time, and the counselor is the last thing they're thinking about. So when I have those instances, I start implementing my conflict resolution skills to try to make sure that, hey, you're not going back out here for revenge, or you don't think this person is still a threat to your life, and what can I do to help mediate your situation. We also provide physical therapy. Gunshot, you can get your leg, you in all kind of physical conditions that it could put people in, and I see it all the time. People trying to get back on their feet and just walk, or to talk, or to move their hands and different things. So we try to make sure we can connect them with physical therapy. There's also victims compensation money that's out there for people that get shot. A lot of people don't know that if you become a victim of a crime, then there's victim compensation finances that's out there for you. Um, we try to provide housing. So along the lines with me doing that stuff in the hospital, I'm encountering doctors and nurses and family members, mothers, grandmothers, and I'm trying to tell these people about life insurance. And so they listen to me. And when I implement my conflict resolution skills and try to stop the recidivism and them ending up back in these kind of situations, the people seem to know that I genuinely care. They know that I'm not just there about the paycheck. So they call me back and they ask for advice, and they look for the influence. They look for the motivation and encouragement. And 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm doing all day. So, and I give my card out. So these people call me back like, "Hey man, what do I do?" They be depressed, and it almost like I'm a counselor now, mental advisor. And it's like, whoa, this is getting a bit much. And like that's my hospital intervention. But when I'm not in the hospital, I'm dealing with at-risk youth. So I'm going into the schools like CLC where the kids that got kicked out of public school and trying to connect with these young fellas and young ladies. I have a colleague of mine by the name of Naja Hill. She founded Mothers Involved Against Gun Violence. And so we're able to deal with the mothers. And whenever I have young women, I mean, I could deal with them. It's no problem. But I feel better about allowing her to deal with those young ladies. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's more professional. And that's, it's just to me, it seems like the right thing to do,
Yeah.
especially with the things we deal with in today's society. So I have to be mindful of my steps at all times. And so, like I said, I'm in constant contact and trying to help people and dealing with their moms and families and fathers. So it's always someone calling like, "Hey, what do I do right here? What do I do in this situation? How can I, what can you do to help me? Who do you know?" And so it's like I'm never stopping.
As you spoke earlier in your statement about the program itself, okay, and how the program is how you want to make sure that it succeeds and not fail, and you're saying that you want it to be more than just relegated to more than just where your city is. So have you actually reached out to people in other states, other cities, to get the program implemented, and how is that working?
Yeah. Well, it's a work in progress. It's been very slow. Just like I've connected with you up down in Georgia. I have a cousin that's in Georgia, and he's doing pretty well financially, got things going. So I'm always in conversation with him about, hey, put an event together. Let me get down there. Set something up for me. Create me a platform so I can come to Georgia and start implementing some of these things that got going on, and start connecting with people in these cities. If it's nothing but for me to connect and have liaisons over here, and then I can go to Mississippi, and then I can go to Texas, and then next thing you know, we have an event somewhere, and we got people coming in from Texas and Mississippi, and everyone is promoting, you know, what the face of everything is right now, but we're pushing for something much greater. You get what I'm saying? Like my ultimate goal on the back end is something that I believe if I could achieve it, if nothing but for one day in the beginning stage, we would see a very big change. You think about now in today's age, we create new holidays every time you look around, and people accept them and they start entertaining them, and they, Cinco de Mayo, that's a new thing. Everybody Cinco de Mayo, they pay attention to it because it became a national holiday. 420, something they smoke on, but they pay attention because it's a national holiday. MLK, people take and pay attention to it, and they move a certain way. A lot of them. So I'm thinking if I could ever get to a national ceasefire day and have it recognized nationally, just on that day when everybody in the world looking at, okay, today is National Ceasefire Day. If we can just look at the statistics of years before and look at the year that we do that, and see if gun violence go down that first year, then we not, we never get success in the first year. It's just like when you start a business, you look, okay, we might not make nothing back. The next year we might break even. The third year we start seeing a profit. Okay, so we're looking at, we can implement it at this point, but in 2 to 3 to 4, 5, maybe 6 years, it could be sooner. Uh, it's gonna be recognized, and people will take a hold to it, just like 4th of July, Easter, Christmas. You want to go buy a bunch of gifts for Christmas. So on National Ceasefire Day, if it's something that just nationally recognized and it's in people's ear and they mind, they can't do nothing but look at it, and it's just in their face, I think it would cause for them to kind of pause on violence.
So let me just ask you this, because with the resources that you have with the city, is it possible that you can leverage what the city helps you with to actually send out maybe a national message, especially to the larger urban cities, to where you can actually make these connections with these people to make it that much easier, and you guys have a coalition that becomes like more of a national coalition, and you guys lead that way to actually make the change inside out?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I'm gonna have to sit down and have these discussions with people, but it's like everybody is so busy right now in those chairs. Um, so it's gonna take a lot of tug of, it's gonna take some tug of war, and that's why I stress I need the community support to stand with me and band with me, because they looking at me like, hey, uh they trust me enough to go out here and recruit and have guys that's like myself and come back to the table, and they can trust my word and showing, here is my supporting cast. I can elevate and they can take over my spot. You
Right,
get what I'm saying? You
right.
take me from being a community facilitator to being a step. I don't even have to go a step. If I could put somebody else up a step first, I'm cool with that. But if I go up a step, that pulls in somebody else to have to sit where I was, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
I'm only as effective as my community allow me to be. You know what I'm saying? So me going into my community
Right.
and trying to gain trust and show these brothers, like, hey, I got the blueprint. I went through it the hard way. I learned and I know what they're looking for. I know what they need. I'm finna show you how to get it without going through what I went through.
Mhm.
You
So
know?
let me just say this. So like I'm assuming, and just correct me, both you and Mr. Burns. So I'm gonna assume that you guys live on opposite sides of town, right?
Now, ironically, we actually from the same, pretty much same area.
So
One.
that right actually, so I think for what you guys are doing, because you probably got a really strong force as into that area. So then if that's the case, why can't you kind of like delegate some of that authority to Mr. Burns and let Mr. Burns handle a portion and you go handle the big part?
Oh, it's
We've
in
been
it's in
talking
the
about
works.
that.
Believe me,
Yeah, we've been talking
it's
about that. It's in
already
the
in the
works.
making.
It's
It's in
been
the
in the
works.
work. It's in the works.
It's in the works. It is. It actually is. We've been networking for quite a bit of time now. Me, him, and we got another partner, Chris Calhoun.
Yeah, Calhoun.
Um, Man, we working on it. Like I said, we got a little red tape up there.
We come.
But I'm working on getting that red tape out the way. So by the time I can really, bond us together right, they won't even have to see the red tape. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
I
You know,
actually didn't know he was gonna be on the show. I actually didn't know it was him that was gonna be on the show, and I found out like, man, that's my brother. We talked. So I was honored to get on here with him because he be on the front line. I called him a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, man, you got so much passion, man. It be seeming like it don't be working, man, because every time you get a little momentum going, somebody else gets shot. I be like, man, every time I go on, not mostly every time somebody died before I got back. Every time I don't be understanding that he be right out there trying to make sure everybody maintain control and just always mediating for everybody. Not you to see him. When I see him on the internet, I was like, man, my brother got a passion for his people. So I always call him and check on him and let him know, man, I see you, your work that you're doing. I appreciate your work because it ain't like you. I say you got a heart for what you're doing, and you just don't have enough people participating. That's all it is. You care, but I don't think a lot of other people care. That's what I tell him.
So, Mr. Burns,
Yes.
this said you say you do life coaching. How long have you been doing life coaching?
Well, pretty much all my life. Like I'm saying, most of the people who are life coach, which are people out my neighborhood, my family members, like it's like when it come down to encouragement or the go-to guy, I'm that person. Like pretty much, I'm like favorite, nephew, cousin in the family. Pretty much, if I can say. Because most of the people, they hold me to the standard. If anything going, if we got to get Tony to talk to him. He won't, this person or this family member won't talk to everybody else, but I know who I can to talk to him. And once I get through talking to him, them two start back talking. Because I let people know, both parties have to do their part, especially when it comes down to family. I'm pro-family. I always been pro-family. I'm a family man. I was raised with my mom and dad in the household. And I was telling him that one time too, like that's my opinion, a lot of people who wasn't raised with their mom and dad mindsets are a little different because they didn't have and they didn't have the structure or the discipline that like I was taught because they didn't have a father there for whatever reason. So and I grew up under a strict father, but I wanted to be liked or fit in so bad till I literally got immune to getting the in the streets with guys I knew that I ain't supposed to be hanging with. But my father, he was a good, like I say, was a good father. He took care of us. But along the road, when my mom had a mental breakdown and went to the mental facility, my dad fell in rut and he lost his job and he just got of the situation that we was going at the time. So, and I'm a young kid, 16, 17 years old. So I'm taking care of my mom and my sisters and my brother. I'm really taking care of my whole family. So 18 or 19 years old, I had two light bills, two water bills, two rents, two of everything as a kid. So I'm really like my mentor. So I really was the little boy with the pants on as a kid, taking care of grown people, especially going back and forth to the militaries and all that, dealing with my mom, mental depression as a young kid. So it pretty much like robbed me of a childhood to be able to get out and venture out. Once I got out the streets, I had to take over and start taking care of my family. That's what a lot of people know me from in my neighborhood, from being the one who told the family on his back, made sure that everybody was straight, and made sure that we get to the point to where we are at now for as a family, while a unit. I was the one who God chose to do that.
For both of you all, I have this question for both of you all. Mr. Burns, you can answer first. Okay. Do you guys feel like with the systemic breakdown of the Black family, where it went to being single parent homes where everybody was being raised by a mother? Do you guys think that's the problem with the young men today as to why they're having the issues they're having? Mr.
Absolutely.
Burns,
absolutely. Because if you have a father, a father is the teacher, and the mother is the nurturer. She nurtures. She can teach too, but she nurtures. A father, just his voice alone can make a young kid sit down or get right. The mom voice, it does a little impact if they respect it, but a kid that's trying to find his way and confused, he's not too much gonna listen to a mother because her licks don't even hurt as bad as the father do. So without the father, you have no one there to pretty much keep him in line. Because for me myself personally, I was scared of my father for a long time. I figured like he was the baddest person in the world. Nobody can beat him up. And he stood on what he stood on when it came down to us for standards and principles. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. But that's why I hear a lot of stuff. But without the father in the household, it's pretty much no mother. And I salute all the black mothers that have done a great job with raising those kids, single family kids, like raising kids by themselves. Because it's very hard to do that, but without the father, that makes it even harder. And it's by design that it's like that too. It's by design. It's not a coincidence that it's like that. The male image is being tainted. It's being got a blemish on it by it's by design. That's why I just want to say it's by design. It's a reason why it's like that. It's like that. Yeah. My opinion.
Mr. Davis, how do you feel about that?
I do agree with Mr. Burns. I feel like a household with mother and father, that child does have in most cases, that child has a better shot than a child out of a single parent household. But that doesn't count out the single parent household, because I've seen they say a lot of times, say a woman can't raise a man. And I dare to agree. I do not agree with that personally, because I had a stepfather. He was there, but not at the capacity that where it could have shaped and molded me to go a different direction sooner than I did. So my mom did a wonderful job. A lot of what you see thriving out of me today, the man that I became today, is because of a lot of the things that my mom instilled in me as a child. The seeds that she planted, she didn't spare the rod. You know what I'm saying? And even though I went astray because of the things she implanted in me and the stuff that she instilled in me when I was a youth, you know what I'm saying? By me surviving through everything that I went through, thank God that I didn't get killed or worse. You know what I'm saying? Put in prison on for life without and just stuck in there. When I say it for work, a lot of people don't know it's something worse than death. Being in prison, eternally. You know what I'm saying? So my mom raised me, and she did a good job in instilling in me some manly things without being a man, because of the stuff that she taught me, and she led me and guided me to the Bible. In the community, it plays a vital role in those situations. You could take that kid who had mother and father, and he go outside, and he's more influenced by the neighborhood drug dealer, then that could possibly just void out everything mom and dad tried to do, which was in the case with me. And a lot of because the way I was raised is totally different from the way I acted and ended up, the route that I took. I was in the church. I was raised in the church. But I went into my community and I saw predator and I saw prey, and I did not want to be prey because I saw how they were being handled. So I had to make a conscious decision, and I was a small guy as well. So not to go too far away from your question, because I sway, but it all has it all tie back in. But I do feel that even without two parents in the home, a child can thrive if he has a strong community around him.
Another question, two-part question for both of you guys. Again, I hear you guys mention a lot about the gun violence.
Right.
Okay. Now, in the underdeveloped areas and communities, as such as you guys are speaking of, now it's known for a fact that economically, most people can't afford guns. But there are a lot of guns, but there are a lot of high impact guns or machinery that's being used. Do you guys think that this is, again, a way to keep the structure of the black family down, the black man into particular areas and situations, that these guns are being planted in these communities?
Of course, because one thing about it, like when you don't have nothing to think with, or as when you're immature, and the society have changed to where don't nobody want to fight at all. That's not an option. Then when I grow up as a kid, I'm getting video games and I'm shooting all day on the video game. It's making it easier for me to go in the street and emulate what I just learned from the game. So a lot of kids can't separate reality from the game. They still think they're in the game. But then on top of egos and like I said, desires to fit in and trying to find your purpose in life. A lot of kids get misled trying to find themselves. They get caught in an intersection, don't know where to go because they don't have that structure. Like I said, or that father or father figure or a mentor telling them that you don't go this way or that way. But then at the end of the day, a kid gonna always gravitate to what they're interested in, and a lot of parents don't know that your kids' friends have more influence on your kid than you do because he can be himself around his friend. He's not going to curse around you. Certain things they're not going to do around their parents. Because I ain't do a lot of stuff around my father, my mother. But then my friends, I can be myself around my friends. So when a parent really want to know what their kids got going on, you got to pay attention to their friends. Zoom in on and key in on the kids to see what he got going on. If the kid nowadays it's so easy, you can go to your son's or daughter, whoever friend's page and see. If you see his friend with gun on his page, best believe that your son be with him every day. He got a gun somewhere, and a lot of parents are vouching for what the kids are doing. They vouching for it too.
I think
if they don't buy it for them, they'll buy it for them.
I think he was more so asking. Do you think they planting guns in the community?
Yeah. They did. They got stores. They did it. They got a store. They did it in Chicago.
In that aspect, if you want to say it in that aspect, as far as the demographic with them, where they put stores, you know what I'm saying? I was just talking about zoning. Cause I'm in a discussion about possibly playing with the city council in 5 to 10 years, but zoning would be one of the things that I'd be dealing with. And zoning, when they allow you to put guns right in the neighborhood, or they allow pawn shops to be closer to schools, and they don't even want a tattoo shop to be by school, it's different things that they do along them nature. The alcohol, you got a liquor store like right almost next door to a school. So with the guns, if you want to say planted by being planted through pawn shops and the accessibility that way, then yeah, but like just dropping them off low, putting them in cuts and corners, I don't think they doing that. It's too much money in it, for one. And for two, this is the gun epidemic that we're facing right now. It's not without design. Like Burns said, it's design behind it. True. I get it. But we got to take accountability, self-accountability among ourselves and with our own people, which is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Me and you, Tony, with self-accountability, we took upon ourselves and said, you know what? We ain't gonna continue to destroy our community.
Right.
That was a conscious decision we made. Right. I made that conscious decision to say, you know what? I ain't finna keep putting the hat on these dudes. I ain't gonna keep hitting them in their face because they talking. I ain't gonna keep selling drugs over here. I ain't gonna run the law this time. You know what I'm saying? I had to make that decision among myself and take self-accountability, look in the mirror, and responsibility for my actions that I had going forth, and make that change and come back into my community with the understanding that it's not without design, and try to help liberate and lift my people up with the education and knowledge to know that, hey, look, it's okay what you're going through. But what you got to know is something wrong. And we have to come together to fix it. You get what I'm saying? It's never a you thing, a y'all thing. It's always we. When you're using that language, you never go, when you start saying I and y'all, that becomes judgmental. You point them out. Yes, we do have a problem.
You're right.
The only reason we're out here is because it's a problem. So we don't have to identify the problem to them too much. We come with our solution. We come with the ideas. We come with letting them know what we're doing and what we did wrong and what we gonna do to get this is doing this to us. Of course, it's not gonna happen to me. I'm not gonna go to jail no more on the corner with the drug dealer. But when I tell them this what they doing to us, bro, they gonna let woo woo. So we have to speak in that language for them to understand and accept what we're trying to give them. Just the other day, I had two of my OGs from when I was in the street, two guys that I blazed the trail and burnt bridges down because I was influenced by them outside of what my family was teaching me. These were two of the guys that allowed me to go down the wrong path and open up and created those options for me to go left when I could have been right because of what I was being taught in my household and on the block that I stayed on. But I went around the corner and these guys gave me these options. Okay, I saw them. I'm not using names, but I encountered them. And they, while we were talking, they told me, they said, look, you need to talk to this little dude. He was a guy, he was 24 years old. They said, you need to talk to him. He's stupid, he crazy. He don't listen to nothing. It's like talking to a tree. So I looked at the little guy, and so we started back talking. They said, nah, you need to talk to him. I said, what make y'all? They said, man, talk to him. You ain't gonna talk to him 30 seconds. You gonna see what we saying. Them nigga crazy. It's like talking to a tree. So they called him over there. Long story short, when I got through talking to him, he listened to me for about 30 minutes. First off, they say he wasn't gonna listen for 30 seconds. But when I got through with him, to me, it was like talking to a fertile bag of soil. And I say that, you know, he was receptive to everything. He accepted everything that I gave him. He wanted more. He was open to listening. He didn't want me to go away. And I looked at the way they was talking to him, and he was reacting to the way they were speaking. He was on their energy, their frequency that they gave him. He was giving them that frequency. So that's what they dealing with him. That's what they always gonna deal with until they change their frequency and deal with him like a man and not judge him and try to make him seem like he's something other than what he is, because he seemed very intelligent. They told me he was crazy, but he seemed intelligent. They said he wouldn't listen, but he listened. And it was my approach. I went to him with understanding. First off, I went to understand what he was saying. I listened to him. I didn't just judge and prejudge. So, you know, it's choices that we have to make, and we have to be responsible and held accountable for the guns coming into our community. The people not dropping them off, make them accessible, but we got to set the tone to allow our kids to know that it's okay to not get the gun, but we got to set barriers as well to allow them to know that it's safe to not have the gun. Because as of right now, with the way things are going, 88% of gunfire incidents are not called in 911. 88%, and this is in America. This is not just for Mobile. 316 people are shot average every day in America. These are statistics. These are true statistics.
Yeah, so see, like with that whole situation though, and thinking about, you know, if you don't think that they're being planted, then I want to ask you, what was your take on your governor, Kay Ivey, signing a bill that allowed anybody, any and everybody, to carry a gun?
To carry. Okay, when they gave everyone the option easier. They opened the option up because they said you don't need a permit. Okay, right. They said I don't need a permit. Without the permit, just because they said they don't without the permit, people are not aware of the gun laws surrounding it. So what I've been doing is I've been bringing awareness. We just started these awareness meetings. Not only we're having conflict resolution classes that we're implementing, but we're having these awareness meetings where we're teaching the community about the new gun laws, the new gang laws, and the new high-speed chase laws. And this is the information that I have in my hand right here. I went on my Facebook page about 4 or 5 days ago, and I read it all out. You know, I let everybody know, like, I have the paperwork. This is the paperwork. You know, and to speaking on the guns, you see it right there. Who can carry?
Yeah.
And where you can carry. So I have all the information, and I spread the awareness. But What she did is she opened up a floodgate and said, "Hey, you can get guns. You can tote your gun. You don't need a permit for the gun. But that not having your permit only stands for Alabama. Once you cross the state line and go into Mississippi, you might as well
Yeah.
still get a permit because once you cross state line in
Yeah.
Mississippi, you need your permit.
Yeah.
Go over
Yeah.
to Georgia, you still need your permit.
Yeah.
You go to Florida, you need your permit. That law
Yeah.
only stands for Alabama. So it makes no sense. It's only gonna set people up to catch more cases. It's where it's being illiterate to the laws that surrounding, the pistol permit, because you still have concealed carry. They're giving these guys fail to inform. If you're riding in your car and your gun is not, you don't tell the police officer as soon as they get to your car, I have a gun in the car, they could charge you with fail to inform. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But she also having a 1.8 billion prison being built right now also. And you we're gonna go back. I want to go back to the plant with the gun. Do you know they all gun show Davis? They stay have
Right.
see the sign on there say Albert Shrine gun shows, right?
Yeah.
All right. When they go to those gun shows, you got gun sellers that sell the guns to these young kids without no ID. And then myself, they get on the internet right after they leave them gun shows with a bunch of choppers and a bunch of assault rifles. So I know they doing it on purpose. I'm telling you.
I see that.
You supposed to have ID around the board at them gun shows. You don't supposed to get no gun without that ID. These young guys be getting them guns without the ID. And look, hold on, one more. And the guns that they be selling be the cheap version. They'll put a gun together, or assault rifle together for $300-400 and sell it for $2,000. With cheap parts on it. They doing. I'm telling you, man. I do the research on it. They bring them gun shows. Them young kids go there and buy them guns with no ID. You got nothing. All of the gun sellers don't do it, but a lot of them do.
That ain't platinum. That ain't platinum. That's putting them in the open.
You making it available. It's just like platinum. You making it available.
Okay. Ain't drugs available in the community, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We fighting against that, right?
Yeah.
We fighting against gunfire. I mean, we ain't just out here talking about we
But a lot of people who shoot guns don't use. A lot of people who shoot guns ain't don't use no drug. They want to shoot somebody.
But
they don't want to use no drug. They want to shoot somebody.
We're looking at the issues we look at the issues that plague our community, the issues, the things that we're fighting against, right?
Yeah.
We look at the changes that we made. We know we didn't make them quick. It took time. I didn't get here. I ain't gonna sit here and act. It's not that. It's never that. But
yeah, I understand.
My thing is, they putting it out there. True. I can go put coke out in the block. Do that mean put it up your nose?
No.
We got to take accountability. We got to set up our barriers. But that way he said, what I collaborate when we build up, connect like we're trying to do. These are the things that we're gonna have to teach our kids and protect our kids from having to go out there.
I agree with you 100%. I agree.
They said it out there. True.
But the option was if the option wasn't there, you wouldn't have it to go to. If just like you said, like we don't put drugs out there, right? But if I'm going through a hard time with my family, or maybe a marriage issue with my wife, if I'm so depressed and stressed out, I might run to the drug and get it to try to escape reality through a drug. But if the option is there, I can take that option. But if the option not there, I got to deal with my problem. Simple as that. I can't use the drug.
I gotta hold my hand. Hey, I gotta hold my hand up on.
Look, so if you take the option away, then you got to pick another option. You got too many options. I can go give me some. I can go give me a gun. When I get stressed out, I can go get a bunch of stuff. I can go get alcohol. I can get drugs. I can get a gun. Whatever. I ain't trying to face the problem. I'm running away from my responsibility anyway. So I need something to help me escape the bigger than back here. I'm trying to release. See what I'm saying? A release. That's what it is. So some young guys get infatuated with shooting a gun. They're infatuated with hearing the shoot. They're infatuated with it. And it started as a young kid shooting on them games too. It's psychological, bro. I'm telling you. It's psychological. They're doing this on purpose. I always remember it's profit over people. It's simple as this to me, my opinion. It's like I say, POP is profit over people, and the sterilization is what in the play regardless. That's all it is. Profit over people, and people do anything for a profit. The hell with the people. The alcohol, they can tax it, but it's killing people. Cigarettes, they can tax that, and it's killing people. The only reason I told one of my friends the other day, the only reason they go after drug dealers like that because they can't tax the money. That's the only problem. You're going to jail because you're not paying taxes on the drug money that you're selling. But I can go get some cigarettes, and cancer killing a lot of people. I can go get some alcohol, and so many people that are having wrecks and killing each other. There's a lot of alcohol deaths over anything, but I can go buy that at the store right there. What's the problem? It's got to be systematically designed that way, bro. I'm telling you, I pay attention to
Yeah.
this. I do what
Yeah,
I
but you
do.
said
Yeah.
but in its own right, it is, you know, I got that's why when I said, you know what, I gotta
Yeah,
surrender.
they keep
But
them
when you
gun shows
said
down here. They keep some gun shows all the time.
look, it was one thing you said specific, and it had to make me put everything in perspective, and look at it really just look at it from a different angle, because I'm listening to wording and planting.
Yeah.
He said planting, okay, but when you said the option, you know, I'm heavy on taking the that's that my
Yeah.
key word in the beginning of when I started with the white flag movement. When I go into the community, what I tell these guys is we have to take the options, the negative options off the
Oh,
table.
wait.
And I'm
Yeah.
speaking of it, and that's why I keep bottling us in when saying taking accountability and responsibility upon self. This not speaking of government no more. This is as a people, right?
Yeah.
I said we can't keep looking for outside forces and outside entities to come inside and make that big change, a big difference in our life. Like right now, just because I'm contracted with the city, I'm not banking on the city to do this thing, what I'm trying to do for my city. Right?
For your community.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but you
I'm going
should.
to do it. Whether
You
I'm with the
should.
city or not. Like I told them when they gave me this contract, I said, listen, it's 3 things you need to know. I'm a man. I have my own business. So I said I'm a boss and I'm a leader because I have my own organization. You get what I'm saying? So with those 3 principles, what I'm standing on, I'm not doing this because I'm working with y'all. I'm doing it before y'all. If y'all give me this contract or not, I'm going to still do it. And if I get it, if this contract ever ends, I'm going to still be doing it. So this does not solidify me and make me who or what and make me move. You know, this is what's in my heart. This is ordained by God. You get what I'm saying? So the option. So I look at, when I think about issues plaguing our community and things that's going on with the black man and or anything else community-wise, I try not to, because I know there's thing. Remember you said it's not what I designed? I know it's there. I know it. We fighting that. That's another battle, though. That's a battle for over here.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at, before we can fight that battle, remember we talked earlier when I said dude want to just jump straight to fight politicians. No, that dragon head, you can't go after the dragon head like that.
No,
it's levels. So before you can come over here and try to fight this battle, you got to start here and look at in the mirror. Okay, what can we do? We got to try to combat this thing that these people keep putting up. It's 2 forces. We can't keep looking at it like it's one. No, it's not. Because if it was one, it wouldn't be a design that's set up for somebody else to fail.
Yeah.
Feel me? So when we see that, we got to know that they design working well. The project was a project. Somebody made an A+ on the project and they took it to their professor. The professor said, this is great. And he took it to the government and the government said, go build this over there. Give me an architect. Give me an architect. This is beautiful. And the project was successful. The drugs in the project, that was successful. It's a failure for us, but it's a success for someone else.
Yeah. Now you see saying. Now you understand.
I've been seeing what I'm saying. That's why I say it's levels.
What I'm saying.
Levels to the fight, though. It's
You're
levels.
right.
So
yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Before you can focus on this, you got to focus on that.
I understand.
So
I understand.
I see your fight. I'm right with you. That's for the long-term goal. The short-term goal, we have to take these proper steps in order to be able to get over there. I'm one man in my position. I wouldn't dare go against that dragon.
Facts,
Not by myself.
Not by myself. all the leaders right before us showed
Come
you
on.
what the
And we
deal will
got to
be.
come in
So that's
strategic.
what it
We
is.
come in strategic using our brains. It's not about our fists and our power and our muscle. No, none of that is going to get it. We got to be strategic in our thinking. We got to be moving and focused on what we're doing. We can't just jump the gun, man. We'll get destroyed.
So,
You're right. I know this.
think with this, I know the key word that you used was accountability.
Yes.
And accountability is very, very important. But I will say that if the discipline is not there, then you're not going to be held accountable.
Right.
So it's pretty much like, when you have the ability to kind of like just run free and just run through the pastures, okay?
Right.
Like a herd of horses or cattle or whatever have you. When you
Yeah.
just run free. So when you have situations like, as I brought up that gun law in particular, because that's happened in that on as of, I think it was the 5th of January or so forth. That was like in something like 30 something states, but primarily in the South.
Right.
Reason being is because the majority of those metropolis are black.
Right.
That's a strategy in itself. Now, I know it might not, you probably don't see it this way as this point, but I think as your organization grow, I think you'll start to learn a whole lot more about what they do with what they call it black market guns.
Right.
What they do is they go to these major metropolitan cities where you got the enormous amount of population being black, and particularly in the underserved areas where these guns are being taken and sold for pennies on the dollar.
Right.
And the reason being is because the crime rate's already high. So if you mad with this man right here and y'all live in the same area, it's okay to kill each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
so my thing is that, like, I know how your organization is working so hard to do what it does and what you guys are doing together to make things a little bit better as to where you are, is that if you, as you say, you're not using them that much, but it kind of like sounds like to me that if you were to, you're making inroads, but if you make inroads a little bit deeper to where you can get up to like 45% of the people in the communities to listen and to follow, that would change all of that. And that's when those numbers are going to come down. Because if it's not, if it's not 50%, those numbers are going to remain the same. But what they're doing is they're only reporting, the numbers for like the areas that are really, really bad.
But let me tell you what our numbers are for 2023. We closed out 2023 with 34 homicides. That was for 2023, right? I want to say 34, 35. Last year we had 41. Okay, the year before that we had 51. So we look at the decline over since I want to say Chief Prime came in the office about 2-3 years ago. Right at that time when he came in, we kind of had a slight drop. We've been having a drop for the last couple years. And
I've been saying
a year and a half ago, they created us community facilitators here in Mobile. And so if we look at the statistics, that's what from last year to this year, we down another 10%.
Yeah, I seen that.
No, that's actually 25%. Because we had, like I said, we went from 51 all the way to 31 at this point.
Well, I tell you, we're gonna have to do this another time.
Yeah.
We have to continue the conversation because this is that's major. But I will say, the work that you guys are doing it deserves to be known, and also I think just making those connections in other areas is also going to be key, because I think once the coalition is started and people can see that what you guys are doing here in Mobile, Alabama, and I have to let everybody know, yes, I'm from Mobile as well.
Oh, okay.
But for the work that you are doing, I mean, it deserves to be noted, but also it seems like yes, you say you're just a one man. You're one man, and you're the people that probably work with you is probably very few as well. And so, I mean, something has to happen to change that if the change is going to really take place. So, but your work has to be applauded because it's really wonderful, and I'm glad that you guys are doing it. And so, I would just love to, for another time, we definitely have to do this again, but I would definitely love to have you guys come back, another time, and we can actually, we can have this conversation again.
And before we go, I want to say one last thing. To let the people know, we rolling out conflict resolution classes and courses throughout the city, and that's gonna be one of the key factors to helping people be able to mitigate through their feelings and not resulting to violence. So with this conflict resolution class that we're going to be implementing in all the boys and girls clubs and schools throughout Mobile, I think that's going to be very impactful and helpful.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, I thank you guys very much.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you.
Guys, come back another time. And that's the end of the show. And I want to thank you guys again. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
You have a wonderful night, man.
All right, y'all have a great evening.
All right.
All right.